The Sonnets by William Shakespeare, Sonnets 1. From fairest creatures we desire increase, not loved by beauty's rose might never die, but as the riper should by time decease, his tender air might bear his memory. But thou, contracted to thy own bright eyes, feedest thy latest flame with self-substantial feel, making famine where abundance lies, thyself, thy foe, to thy sweet self to crawl. Thou art now world's fresh ornament, and only herald to the gaudy spring within thy own bud bearest thy content, and tenetral makest waste in niggarding. Pity the world, or else lest glutton be, to each the world's due, but grief and thee. Sonnets 2. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field, thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed of small words held. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days, to say within thy own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and a thriftless praise. How much more praise deserve thy beauty's use, if thou couldst stand the least fair child of mine, shall sign my count and make my all the excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine, this were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feelst it cold. Sonnets 3. Looking like glass, and till the face thou viewest, now is the time that face should form another, whose fresh repair if now thou not renewest, thou dost beguile the world, and bless some mother. For where is she so fair whose onion womb disdains the tillage of thy husbandry, or who is he so found will be the tomb of his self-love to stop posterity? Thou art thy mother's glass, and she in thee calls back the lovely April of her prime. So thou through windows of thy age shall see, despite of wrinkles, this thy golden time. But if thou live, remembered not to be, thy single and thy image dies with thee. Sonnets 4. Unthrifty loveliness, why dost thou spend upon thyself thy beauty's legacy? Nature's bequest gives nothing but doth lend, and being frank, she lends to those are free. Then beauteous niggard, why dost thou abuse the bounteous largesse given thee to give? Profitless usurer, why dost thou use so great a sum of sums, yet canst not live? For having traffic with thyself alone, thou of thyself, thy sweet self, dost deceive. Then how, when nature caused thee to be gone, what a suckable audit canst thou live? Thy unused beauty must be tombed with thee, which use leaves the executor to be. Sonnet 5. Those hours that with gentle work did frame the lovely gaze, where every eye doth dwell, will play the tyrants to the very same, and that unfair which fairly doth excel. For never resting time did summer on, to hideous winter and confounds in there, subtract with frost and lusty leaves quite gone. Beauty all snow and barrenness everywhere, then will not summer's desolation left a liquid prisoner painting walls of glass. Beauty's effect with beauty will be reft. Now is now no remembrance what it was, but flowers distill though they with winter meet. These but their show, their substance still lives sweet. Sonnet 6. Then let not winter's ragged hand deface in thee thy summer, ere thou be distilled. Make sweet some veil, treasure thou some place with beauty's treasure, ere it be self-killed. That use is not forbidden usury, which happens those that pay the willing law. That's for thyself to bring another thee, or 10 times happier be it 10 for one. 10 times thyself were happier than thou art. If 10 of thine 10 times refigure thee, then what could death do if thou shouldst depart? Leaving thee living in posterity, be not self-willed, for thou art much too fair to be death's conquest and make worms thine heir. Sonnet 7. Though enduring when the gracious light lifts up his burning head, each and I does homage to his new appearing sight, serving with looks his sacred majesty, and having climbed the steep up heavenly hill, resembling strong youth in his middle age. Yet mortal looks so adore his beauty still, attending on his golden pilgrimage. But when from highmost pitch with weary car, like feeble age, he reeleth from the day, the eyes for duteous now converted are. From his low tract and look another way, so thou thyself outgoing in thy noon, and look down dost, unless thou get a son. Sonnet 8. Music to hear, why hearest thou music suddenly? Sweets with sweets will not, joy delights in joy. Why lovest thou that which thou receivest not gladly? Or else receivest with pleasure like annoy? If the true concord of well-tuned sounds, by unions married, do offend thine ear, they do but sweetly, tidily, who confounds in singleness the parts that thou shouldst bear. Mark how one string, sweet husband to another, strikes each in each by mutual ordering, resembling silent child and happy mother, who all in one pleasing note do sing, whose speechless song, being many, seeming one, sings this to thee, thou single wilt prove none. Sonnet 9. Is it for fear to wait a widow's eye, that thou consumest thyself in single life? Ah, if thou issueless shalt up to die, the world will wear thee like a mackless wife. The world will be thy widow, and still weep, that thou no form of thee hast left behind, when every private widow will may keep by children's eyes her husband's shape in mind. Look what an unthrift in the world doth spend, shifts but his place, for still the world endures it. But beauty's waste hath in the world an end, and kept unused, the user so destroys it. But beauty's way, no love toward others in that bosom sits, that on himself such murderous shame commits. Sonnet 10. For shame deny that thou bearest love to any, who for thyself art so unprovident. Grant if thou wilt, thou art beloved of many, but that thou none lovest is most evident. For thou art so possessed with murderous hate, that against thyself thou stickest not to conspire, seeking that beauteous roof to ruinate, which to repair should be thy chief desire. O change thy thought, that I may change my mind. Shall hate be fair lodged and gentle love, be as thy presence years gracious and kind. O to thyself at least kind-hearted proof, make thee another self for love of me, that beauty still may live in thine or thee. Sonnet 11. As fast as thou shalt wing, so fast thou growest in one of thine from that which thou departest, and that fresh blood which youngly thou bestowest, thou mayst call thine when thou from youth convertest. Herein lives wisdom, beauty, and increase, without this folly, age, and cause decay. If all were minded so, the time should cease, and threescore years would make the world away. Let those whom nature hath not made forestall, harsh, featureless, and rude, barrenly perish. Look, whom she best endowed, she gave thee more, which bounteous gift thou shouldst in bounty cherish. She covered thee for her seal, and meant thereby thou shouldst print more, not let that copy die. Sonnet 12. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brief day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and the sable curls all silvered all with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and the summer spring all girdled up in sheaves, borne on the beard with white and breastly beard. Then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou among the wastes of time must go, since sweet and beauty stood themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow, and nothing against time's size can make thee fence, self-bred to brave him when he takes thee hence. Sonnet 13. Oh, that you were yourself, but love you are, no longer yours, then you yourself here live. Against this coming end you should prepare, and your sweet semblance to some other give. So should that beauty which you hold in this, finding no determination, then you were yourself again, after yourself's decease. When your sweet issue your sweet form should bear, who lets the fair house fall to decay, which husbandry in honor might uphold against the stormy gusts of winter's day, and the barren rage of death's eternal cold. Unknown but unthrifted, dear my love, you know you had a father, let your son say so. Sonnet 14. Not from the stars do I my judgment pluck, and yet methinks I have astronomy, but not to tell of good or evil luck, of plagues, of deaths, the season's quality, nor can I fortune to brave minutes tell, pointing to each his thunder, rain, and wind. All say with princes, if it shall go well, but oft predict that I in heaven find, but from thine eyes my knowledge I derive, and constant stars in them I read such authors' truth and beauty shall together thrive. If from thyself to store thou wouldst convert, or else of thee this I prognosticate, thy end is truth, and beauty's doom and dead. Sentence 15. When I consider everything that grows, holds imperfection but a little moment, that this huge stage present us not but shows, whereon the stars in secret influence comment. When I perceive at man as planets increase, tread and tracked even by the self-same sky, wanting their useful shape at height decrease, and were the brief state out of memory, then the conceit of this inconstant state, that you must reach in youth before my sight, will waste of all time, debaters with decay, to change your death of youth to solid night. And all in war with time for love of you, as he takes from you, I engraft you new. Sentence 16. But wherefore do not you a mightier way make war upon this bloody tyrant time, and fortify yourself in your decay, with means more blessed than my barren rhyme. Now stand you on the top of happy hours, and many maiden gardens yet unset, with virtuous wish would bear your living flowers, much liker than your painted counterfeit. So should the lines of life let life repair, which this time's pencil all my people pen. Neither in inward worth nor outward affair can make you live yourself in eyes of men. To give away yourself keeps yourself still, and you must live drawn by your own sweet skill. Sentence 17. Who will believe my verse in time to come, if it were filled with your most high deserts? Though yet heaven knows it is but as a tomb, which hides your life, and shows not half your parts. If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say, this poet lies, such heavenly touches, none touch earthly faces, so should my papers yellowed with their age, be scorned like ornaments of less truth than tongue, and your true rights beaten a poet's rage, and stretch the meter of an antique song. But were some childer years and life last time, you should live twice in it and in my rhyme. Sentence 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and the summer's lease has all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair with his fair doth rehearse, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance on nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou knowest, nor shall death brown thou wanderest in his shred, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and lives gives life to thee. Sentence 19. Devouring time, blanch thou the lion's paws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the king teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and bond the longing phoenix in her blood. Make glad the sorry seasons as thou fleets, and do what well thou wilt, swift-footed time, to the wide world and all her fading sweets. But I forbid thee, one most heinous crime, O carve not with thine hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thy antique pen. Hearing thy cause and tented, do allow for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet do thy worst all the time, despite thy wrong, my love shall in my verse ever live young. Sentence 20. A woman's face with nature's own head painted hast thou, the master mistress of my passion, a woman's gentle heart, but not acquainted with shifting change. As is false woman's fashion, an eye more bright than theirs, less false in rolling, gilding the object whereupon it gazeth, a many hue, accused in his controlling, much steals men's eyes, and women's souls amazeth, and for a woman, what thou first created, till nature as she justly fell doting, and by addition me of thee defeated, by adding one thing to my purpose nothing, but since she pricked thee out for woman's pleasure, mine be thy love, and my love's use the treasure. Sentence 21. So is it not with me as with that muse, stirred by painted beauty to his verse, who heaven itself for ornament doth use, and every fair with his fair doth rehearse, making a couplement of proud compare, with sun and moon, with earth and sea's rich gems, with April's first-born flowers and all things rare. Let heaven's air in this you drown your hems. Oh, let me true in love, but truly right. And then believe me, my love is fair as any mother's child, though not so bright as those gold candles fixed in heaven's air. Let them say more than lack of here say well. I will not praise, not purposed, not to sell. Sentence 22. My glass shall not persuade me I am old, so long as youth and thou are of one date. But when in thee 10 sparrows I behold, then look I death my days should expiate. For all that beauty that does cover thee is but the seedy raiment of my heart, which in thy bosom strap is hanging, which in thy breast doth live, as lying in me. How can I then be elder than thou art, or therefore, love, be of thyself so weary, as I not for myself, but for thee well, bearing thy heart, which I will keep so chary, as tender nurse her babe from furring young. Presume not on thy heart when mine is slain. Thou gavest me thine not to give back again. Sentence 23. A son unperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear has put beside his part, or some fierce thing replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart. So I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's might, and of love's right, and in my own love's strength seem to decay, or charged with burden of my own love's might. Oh, let my books be then the eloquence and dumb passengers of my speaking pressed, who plead for love and look for recompense, more than that tongue that more hath more expressed, or learn to read what silent love hath read. To hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit. Sentence 24. Mine eye hath played painted and hath stilled thy beauties for me in table of my heart. My body is the firm wherein 'tis held, and the perspective it is the painter's art. For through the painter must you see his guild, to find where your true image picture lies, which in thy bosom strap is hanging still, that hath its windows glazed with lying eyes. Now see what good turns eyes for eyes have done. Mine eyes have drawn thy shape, and thine for me are windows to my breast, where through the sun delights to peep, to gaze therein on thee, yet eyes this cunning, want to grace their art. They draw but what they see, know not the heart. Sentence 25. Let those who are in favor with their stars, of public honor and proud titles boast, whilst I, good fortune of such triumph pass, and looked for joy in that thy honor most. Grant princes' favorites their fair leaves spread, but as the marigold the sun's eye, and in themselves their pride lies buried, for at her front lay in their glory die, the painful warrior, famous for fight of the 1,000 victories once foiled, is from the book of honor raised quite, and all the rest forgot for which he toiled. Then happy I that love, and I am beloved. Where I may not, that I am beloved. Where I may not, that I am beloved. Where I love and I am beloved, where I may not remove, nor be removed. Sentence 26. Lord of my love, to whom investigate thy marriage hath my duty strongly knit. To thee I say that is written a message, to witness duty, not to show my wit. Duty so great, which so poor as mine, may make seem bare in wanting words to show it. But that I hope some good conceit of thine, in thy first thought, all naked, will bestow it. Tell whatsoever stars that guides my moving, point to me graciously with fair aspect, and put apparel on my tattered loving, to show me worthy of thy sweet respect. Then may I dare to boast how I to love thee, till then not show my head, where thou mayst prove me. Sentence 27. Weary with toil, I haste me to my bed, the dear repose for limbs with travel tired, but then begins the journey in my head, to work my mind when body's work's expired. For then my thoughts from far where I abide in tender zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide, looking on darkness which the blind do see. save that my soul's imaginary sight presents like shadow to my sightless view, which like a jewel high in ghastly night, make black night beauteous and her old face new. No, last by day my lips, by night my mind, for thee and for myself no quiet find. Sentence 28. How can I then return in happy plight, that I am debarred the benefit of rest, when death's oppression is not eased by night, but day by night and night by day oppressed, and each the enemies to either strain doing consent, shake hands to torture me, the one by toil, the other to complain. How far I toil, still farther oft from thee. I tell the day to presume thou art bright, and dost seem grace when clouds do blot the heaven. So flutter I the swatch complexion night, when sparkling stars toil not, thou gildest the even. But day does daily draw my sorrows longer, and the night does naturally make grief's strength seem stronger. Sentence 29. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble death heaven with my bitterest cries, and I look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, happily I think on thee and then my state, like to the lark at break of day rising, from sun and earth in schemes at heaven's gate, for thy sweet love remember that such wealth brings, that then has gone to change my state with kings. Sentence 30. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past. I said the lack of many a thing I thought, and without words knew well my dear time's waste. Then can I draw the nigh, unused to flow, for precious fresh hits in death's deathless night, and whip out fresh, love's long since cancelled well, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from war to war tell o'er the sad account of forebemoaned moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. Sentence 31. Thy bosom is dear with all hearts, which I by liking have supposed dead, and there reigns love and all love's loving parts, and all those friends which I thought buried. How many a holy and obsequious tear has dear religious love stolen from mine eye, as interest of the dead, which now appear but things removed, that hidden in thee lie. Thou art the grave where buried love doth live, hung with the trophies of my lovers gone, who all their parts of me to thee did give. That jewel of many now is lying alone. The images I loved I view in thee, and thou, all they, hast all the of me. Sentence 32. If thou survive my well-contented day, when natural death my bones with dust shall cover, shot by fortune once more resurvey these poor rude lines of thy deceased lover, compare them with the bettering of the time, and though they be outstripped by every pen, reserve them for my love, not for the rhyme, exceeded by the height of happier men. All then vouchsafe me but this loving thought, had my friend's muse grown with this groaning age, a dear rebirth than this his love had brought, to much in ranks of better equipage. But since he died and the poet's better proof, let us follow style I'll read, he is for his love. Sentence 33. For many a glorious morning have I seen, flutter the mountain tops with sovereign eye, kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. Anon permit the basest clouds to ride with ugly wreck on his celestial face, and from the fallen world his visage hide, stealing unseen to waste with this disgrace. Even so, my son one early morn did shine with all triumphant splendor on my brow, but out alack, he was but 1 hour mine. The raging cloud hath masked him from me now, yet him for this my love no which disdaineth. Sons of the world may stand when heaven's sun standeth. Sentence 34. Why didst thou promise such a beauteous day, and make me travel forth without my cloak, to let best clouds o'ertake me in my way, hiding thy bravery in their rotten smoke? 'Tis not enough that through the cloud thou break, to dry the rain on my storm-bidden face. For no man well of such a self can speak that heals the wound, and cures not the disgrace. Even so, all disgrace. When I can ship. Sentence 34. Why didst thou promise such a beauteous day, and make me travel forth without my cloak, to let best clouds o'ertake me in my way? Hiding thy bravery in the rotten smoke, 'tis not enough that through the cloud thou break, to dry the rain on my storm-beaten face. For no man well of such a self can speak that heals the wound, and cures not the disgrace. Nor can I shame give physic to my grief, though thou repent. Yet I have still the loss. The offender's sorrow lends but weak relief to him that bears the strong offence's cross. Ah, but those tears are pearl which thy love sheds, and they are rich and a ransom all your deeds. Sentence 35. No more be grieved at that which thou hast done. Roses have thorns, and silver fountains mud, clouds and eclipses stand both moon and sun, and loose some canker lives in sweetest bud. All men make faults, and even I in this, authorizing my trespass with compare, myself corrupting, solving thy amiss, excusing thy sins more than thy sensual are, for to thy sensual fault I bring sense. Thy adverse parties thy advocate, and against myself a lawful plea commends. Such civil war is in my love and hate, that I an accessory needs must be, to that sweet thief which sorely robs from me. Sentence 36. Let me confess that we two must be twain, although our undivided loves are one. So shall that blots that do with thee remain, without thy help by me be borne alone. In our two loves there is but one respect, though in our lives a separable spite, which though it alter not love's law effect, yet does it still sweet hours from love's delight. I may not evermore acknowledge thee, lest my bewildered guilt should do thee shame, nor thou with public kindness honor me, unless thou take thy honor from thy name. But do not so, I love thee in such sort, as thou being mine, mine's thy good report. Sentence 37. As a decrepit father takes delight to see his active childhoodness of youth, so I, maiden by fortune's dearest spite, take all my comfort of thy words and truth. For whether beauty, birth, or wealth, or wit, or any of these all, or more, entitled in thy parts to crown and sit, I make my love ungrafted to thee store, so that I am not then poor nor despised, whilst that this shadow does such substance give, that lie in thy abundance unsufficed, and by a part of all thy glory live. Look what is best, that best I wish in thee. This wish I have, then 10 times happy me. Sentence 38. How can my muse what subject to invent, while thou dost breathe that pours into my verse thy own sweet argument too excellent for every vulgar paper to rehearse? Oh, give thyself the thanks, if aught in me were thee perusal stand against thy sight. For who's so dumb that cannot write to thee, when thou thyself dost give invention light? Be thou the 10th muse, 10 times more in worth than those old 9s which rhymers invocate. And he that calls on thee, let bring forth eternal numbers to outlive long debt, if my slight muse do please these curious days. By the pen be mine, but thine shall be the praise. Sentence 39. Oh, how thy words with manners may I sing, when thou art all the better part of me. What can my own praise to my own self bring, and what is but my own when I praise thee? Even for this let us divided live, and our dear love lose name of single one, that by this separation I may give that due to thee which thou deservest alone. O absence, what a torment wouldst thou prove, were it not thy sour leisure gave sweet leave to entertain the time with thoughts of love, which time and thoughts so sweetly dost deceive, and thou teachest how to make one twain, by praising him here who does hence remain. Sentence 40. Take all my loves, my love, yea, take them all. What hast thou then more than thou hadst before? No love, my love, that thou mayst true love call, All mine was slain before thou hadst this more. Then if from my love, let my love receivest, I cannot blame thee for my love thou usest, but yet be blamed if thou thyself deceivest, by wilful taste of what thyself refusest. I do forgive thy robbery, gentle thief, although thou steal thee all my poverty, and yet love knows it is a greater grief, to bear love's wrong that has known injury, the severe grace in whom all your will shows. Kill me with spites, yet we must not be foes.